What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Thursday, October 17th, 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the best hair in the business, Fran Mirabella III.
How's it going, Greg Miller?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you
It's been
again.
a good week. We got to see each other a lot already.
We have. We did the Borderlands show yesterday, episode 2.
Thought it was top secret.
I don't know, is it?
I don't know.
I don't think they care if we recorded
This is
it
all
already.
NDAs for
No.
all the plans for Borderlands. You wish, and Death Stranding, you wish you could see what's on this
Exactly, you do. I'm more worried about you, Fran. You told me right before this you got hairspray in your eye.
I do. My left eye is burning, so if you just see it, it looks like I'm
One
crying.
tear. You're not crying about
like
Stadia's
Pony Boy or
wireless
whatever.
controller.
It's not the show. Yeah, I got one of those little flecks coming right off of my hairspray. I told him it doesn't. You'd think it would happen all the time with me, but no.
I would.
Very uncommon.
Wow.
They do the hairspray I use. I don't run into that.
Okay.
Anyway,
you're okay though now. You're ready to. You're gonna play
my
through
left
the pain.
eye's burning.
You're gonna play through the pain though. Do we need a Kevin? You might want to prepare an eye wash.
Can I get a flushing, rinse?
Kevin will spit in your eye.
He's gonna spit in my mouth and my eye.
Well,
No.
he's gonna have a spray to it.
This is
You know what I
going
mean? It's
downhill
gonna go.
fast, Greg.
Well, then let's get out of it and talk instead about Stadia's wireless controller not being so wireless, Blizzard banning more players, and more, because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show, patreon.com/kindafunnygames with your questions, comments, concerns, and everything under the video game sun. Then tune in to watch us record the show live, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindafunny.com/you'rewrong. Tell us what we screw up as we screw it up, so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and roosterteeth.com, as well as all of those listening on podcast services around the globe. Housekeeping for you today. We're recording the Kinda Funny Gamescast this afternoon, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames. You can watch the pre and post show live and watch it ad free. But more importantly, hear us talk about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Luigi's Mansion 3. A big show, Fran.
Yeah,
What do
they
you
can
bring to
watch
the
that
table?
live too, right?
That's what I'm talking
Pre-show,
about.
the post-show,
Oh, yeah,
and the
all
show
that.
all live. Your
Patreon.com/kindafunny.
Patreon Silver. Is that right? Or is it?
That's right. No, that's right. That checks out. Yeah.
I think I got it right.
I think you got it too. Yeah, exactly.
I'm excited about that one, Greg.
Yeah. What are you going to bring to the table? What are you talking about today?
I'm literally just color commentary because you guys have played all these new and awesome games.
Yeah,
and
you're just like, let me tell you about Destiny.
Let me tell you all about Iron Banner and the latest Division update. And
I do want to hear about the Division update.
I haven't got to play it yet.
Get out of here. Go home. This weekend, Kinda Funny's taking over Toronto. We're going to EGLX Saturday and Sunday. You can get the full rundown of the schedule over at kindafunny.com/events. Here, learn about the signing, the Kinda Funny panel, and the Smash Brothers tournament we're doing. Remember, Extra Life is Saturday, November 2nd. It's 24 hours of gaming for charity. You can join us live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames on the day. Watch us be a bunch of goons and spin the tiny wheel, and Kevin eat a bunch of Oreos. However, if you want to join, maybe raise some money for the big, beautiful kids yourself, you can join Team Kinda Funny at kindafunny.com/extra-life. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Blackjack and Mohammed. Today, we're brought to you by BROOKLINEN, MANSCAPED, and Escape the Invasion, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 4 items on the Roper Report.
Baker's dozen.
Kevin, give it to me straight. How are you? You haven't chimed in a few times. I've given you the softballs. I've mentioned you, but you're over there. You're in work mode. What's happening over there?
I'm a Tucker boy.
You're Tucker boy?
A little tired.
You're going to go see 3 movies tonight, too, huh?
I am indeed.
What?
He's a crazy person.
Yeah.
He's-
Jojo Rabbit today at 1.
Uh-huh.
And then Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And then Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Oh, okay.
All for the glory of the Kinda Funny screencast.
Yep.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. That's why these guys do all his homework.
Exactly.
You've had a lot of movie homework going on around here. Kind of funny.
Terminator, Star
And
Wars,
he's
this.
back here in the storage room watching
Terminator
catching up on Terminator.
No better way to watch Terminator than on a tiny Google Pixel or whatever the hell
Like, all
stupid
right.
phone he has.
Pixel XL is pretty big.
Is that what he has?
Yeah.
It was,
It's dumb.
trust me, he was leaning in close. Like,
Number 1, Stadia's wireless controller won't be totally wireless at launch. This is Jay Peters at The Verge. You'll probably be plugging in Google's wireless Stadia controller when the cloud gaming services launches on November 19th. While it'll work wirelessly while playing Stadia on Chromecast Ultra, you'll have to plug in a USB-C cable to use it with computers or phones at launch, Google tells The Verge. When Google first showed off their controller in March, the company touted how you could seamlessly switch from gaming on your TV to a laptop or a phone while using the exact same controller, without having to pair it with each device. Because the controller would stay directly connected to Google Stadia's servers over its own Wi-Fi. But as 5 to 9 Google spotted earlier today, Google recently added a disclaimer in a new Stadia explainer video that wireless play will only be available on Chromecast Ultra at launch. And a Google community manager on Reddit later confirmed that meant you'll need to break out a USB-C cable for other devices, perhaps because Bluetooth won't be an option by launch. Google tells us it's focusing on getting wireless play right on TV first because it wants that big screen experience to be as good as possible. That makes sense to me. If Google wants to compete in gaming, it needs to make playing Stadia games on a TV as easy as kicking back on the couch with a PlayStation or Xbox controller. Franimal.
Yep.
What do you think?
Saw it days ago, watched the trailer. There was a number of things in there, talking about, hey, it's not going to work on all the phones yet, right? It's only going to work on these Pixels.
Yeah.
Woo!
And it's only going to work on these tablets, and there's all these little disclaimers, and this was one of those disclaimers in there. So for me, what I've been settling on, it's kind of curious what your take on this is, but
Sure.
I think I've said it before, but we're paying for a Google beta as pro users, kind of. Like, you get early access, but, like, frankly, I think them coming out the
you
door,
ordered the whole pro
of course.
package too, right? Yeah, me too.
We got to be in the door and be able to comment on it. And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I am interested to check it out, but, like, I mean, it's seriously, betas are not a bad thing, but, like,
course.
it's a limited launch with limited functionality, and so none of this surprises me. I mean, I think in terms of, like, yes, it's good, it's going to work. That is the bundle we get, right?
Yeah, we get the Chromecast Ultra with the controller. Yeah,
you get the controller. So what you get is going to work fine for you, but if you want to do some of the other stuff, it's going to be limited until further notice. We don't know when this stuff's
no
getting touched
timetable on there, right?
Yeah, but how do you feel about this? Is this sort of like, this happens all the time, or is it like,
I'm not.
this may not go over so well?
It's not going to go over so well for sure, but it's more that like, all right, how many more shoes are going to drop before we get to November 19th? And at that point, I did pay, and I've said this in the discussions we've had since I put the money down, since I put my money down for this thing, right? Of like, I get that I'm buying PlayStation VR. I get that I'm buying something early because I believe in the technology, and I want to believe in the technology, and I know I'm going to see it through a bunch of hurdles and a bunch of bumps and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
This isn't the kind of bump I was talking about, right? Like, I was expecting it more along the lines of, like, it's not working. It's choppy right now, but they're working. Firmware, whatever the hell's coming out to fix this thing. Like, rolling back features tech-wise that they made at the announcement made it seem like it was going to be so easy, so ready to go.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's the vision. It's like getting that, the slice of a game, an E3 demo 3 years from when it's out, right? You're like, oh, man, like Anthem went through that, right? You're like, oh, seems awesome from that video. And from concept, awesome. And then it finally is coming out. It's like, well, we didn't meet our vision exactly yet. I mean, I'm not worried that Google's going to get there with these features.
Oh no, not at all.
But
I'm not worried they're going to get there. Yeah, but we're playing the beta. At which point too, it's like
early access. I don't know.
That's the problem. Why didn't they call it early access? Why did they call it Google Stadia early access? We are charging you $130, but you get the month free of the Game Pass thing. You get the controller. You get a Chromecast. You're getting all these things, but it is early access.
It's not good marketing.
That would sure.
Nobody's going to sit down. I guarantee. I don't know if they even brought it up, but I have a feeling they talked about how do we go out to market with it. It's like, look, I don't even know if they can support en masse, right? Like, I think specifically by selling the platform for call it a higher price, because you're going to be able to get it cheaper once it's available, to everybody. Like, I mean, you don't need this.
Well, I mean, technically, when it actually launches outside of the Founder, right now the Founders Pack is the only way to use Stadia, right?
That's right.
Once it launches in 2020, it's supposed to be that if you don't want any of the crap that we have, you can just buy the game. You pay $60 and then you play it on your TV or your computer with the DualShock, your phone with the DualShock.
This is the discussion. I'm sitting here with this laptop, whatever. My brother handed it down to me, and that's not really about this laptop, but maybe that's the scenario, right? And you're like, oh, I don't have to buy a new game console to maybe play Destiny at 60 frames a second. 4K. That's something we're waiting to be confirmed. It's a hand-me-down laptop, Greg. It's not going to handle that 4K.
I mean, that's what they say. That's what they say, Fran.
Hypothetical world. You got to keep up. But the scenario is right. You're like, oh, cool. I can just grab my old Xbox controller, plug it in, go to Chrome, go to buy the game, just buy the game and log in. And for $60, you're up and running or whatever.
It's such a weird thing.
We're not there yet.
And I feel like this is the push and pull between Google being Google and then the games people they've on being gamers, where I think Google, probably to your point, is insistent on this being, hey, this is a thing that's worth $130, buy it. Whereas I feel gamers in particular, if you were to say, hey, guess what? We're doing an early access founders pack. This is the only way to do it. This is the way to get into it. This is how we're going to try it out and do this, and you're going to learn with us.
Yeah.
I don't think that would have gotten them the headlines they're going to get when this thing launches.
That's right.
Not complete. And I'm still like, what else is going to go wrong? If it gets there on launch day on November 19th, when The Verge and GameSpot and IGN and all these people write about it, and they're like, man, it isn't up to snuff. This sucks. If it was early access, everything would be, but it's early access. This is what we expected. Da 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 da. This is not being marketed that way, and if they keep having announcements like this, trouble.
You nailed it. Exactly. It's, to bring Anthem up again, that's what Anthem went through, right? Remember they had the Origin Premier subscriber access, which turned out same thing. It was like, well, like we're still ironing out some kinks. Like you're taking subscription money. Yeah. Same scenario actually as Stadia, and you're telling people it's this Premier Pro access thing. And so it just sets a wrong tone for wait. We're still working out some kinks, but join us. And if you're excited about this future, join us, be a part of it. It's totally different messaging, right?
And that's the thing is like if there's more of this, and if we get there and it's not where it's not ready for prime time, which it will not be.
Yeah,
I did not buy my Founders Pack expecting Google Stadia to be exactly what I envisioned and dreamed of on November 19th.
Yeah, so I think some of that's in there. I mean, I do give them credit. What's interesting, I finally saw this trailer because something I've been complaining about all these things. I feel like on Gamescast and probably this show too. I was like,
your Ubers too, the Muni, anybody who'll listen.
Exactly. I'm like, hey, viewer to the Stadia Uber driver. But I felt like they have not done a good job from the announcement until this video. Thankfully, this video finally starts to clear things up. But like, what is it? How does it work? I was like, why don't you just have a video that like clearly explains it? They finally did it. I think that was really good. It's still, I had a few thoughts on that too. I'm like, well, glances over some things, and here comes the Fran video producer. Yeah. Is that footage from Stadia that you're using? No, probably not. It's direct source capture footage. This is a whole new discussion I want to have at some point. But are they on the line for all their trailers? And I guarantee you they're not going to be. Are they going to use the compressed footage that you're going to see in their trailers?
Fran, it's not going to be compressed if I have whatever the hell the MB down I need to be.
That's true. So if they use, here's where I'd be happy. If they use 4K HDR, that's fine, and they label it as such. Those are the trailers. I think that's, because when you see a game trailer, you kind of want to see it from that platform. We go through this with other platforms
too. I mean, I think that like they'd worry about the FTC. I don't think they're capturing.
Oh, they're not worried about it. I'm saying for gamers, look, we're way past it. A ton
Fran,
of game
you just
trailers.
need 35 megabits per second to get 4K HDR video, 60 frames per second, 5.1 surround.
Well, and I have that, so I'm not worried. But where I'm going with it, this is another side of like the ethics of game marketing. Sure. So I'll use the example. We now know Red Dead's on its way November 5th on PC. Exactly. That's the old West sound.
Time of one tarnation beans.
There's a steak in my boot. Anyway, so where I was going with this is now imagine going forward all the Red Dead Online updates and everything. Yeah. For PlayStation even. Like it doesn't work that way for PlayStation probably. But imagine that the trailers were now using PC footage because it looks the best. Most people may not even notice. They're like, dang, that game looks good on PlayStation. And it's like, well, it's the best. We just use PC footage. What are the ethics of using the actual source footage and making sure the audience knows what's there? So different topic. But back maybe to where we were, which is like the marketing of Stadia, the Pro Edition, I think, so there's going to be some other shoes to drop. I think you're right.
Robbie Roy gives me a you're wrong. 9 to 5 Google. Apparently I said 5 to 9 Google. It's the night shift Google website. You know what I mean?
5 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Everyone, including Jeff Grubb and Lord of Pwn, are like, it's still going to be compressed, Greg. That's how it works. And shut up, everybody. It's fine. Yeah, exactly. I was just giving Fran crap. It's fine.
Sorry. I was going off on a rant there, I think. But
it's all part of it. Parker Petrov writes in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames with a question that starts not about this, but kind of gets there. So stick with me. You said, Fran, this is what queued up this question in my head. You said you trust Google to get there.
Yeah.
Parker Petrov.
Controller.
Parker Petrov writes in and says, hello, Greg and Fran. Project Xcloud has been out in beta for several days now, and the reports thus far have been that the technology works. While Google announced that it is discontinuing its Google Daydream VR program with the quote, there hasn't been the broad consumer or developer adoption that we had hoped, and we've seen decreasing usage over time of the Daydream View headset. We saw a lot of potential in smartphone VR. This is still the quote. Being able to use the smartphone you carry with you everywhere to power an immersive on-the-go experience. But over time, we noticed some clear limitations constraining smartphone VR from being a viable, long-term solution. Most notably, asking people to put their phone in a headset and lose access to the apps they use throughout the day causes immense friction, end quote. If Xcloud just works and offers consumers another way to play games on that they already own on their Xbox, do you think Google can win over enough customer confidence to be successful with Stadia? Or in 5 years, will you be able to swap out Google Daydream and insert Stadia into their most recent announcement? Do you think Google is committed to Stadia long term, or is it like a VR thing for them? Is it like a...
No, yeah, I mean, it's definitely long term with all the hires they're making and the amount of courting they've done with everyone from Rockstar to Ubisoft to I'm trying to think of one more like really big. You always got to name 3 things, you know. But
Sure.
they're working with AAA publishers, and clearly, Gearbox, Borderlands is coming to it. All the above, right? There's big stuff coming. That doesn't happen with no money exchange. And in other words,
no, I know there's money being exchanged. The concern always is if, like, think of it this way.
Yeah.
We talk about Anthem, right? We talk about Fallout 76. You talk about all these blemishes, right? You get to launch something once. They are launching Google Stadia. Sounds like not the complete version or even the vision that we were pitched on
version
for Google Stadia. They're charging money for it. They're not calling it early access. They're not calling it a beta.
Yeah.
That is going. I can go to my computer right now and write you a dozen different headlines of what that's going to be when those reviews hit, right?
Confusion is coming despite
and that's the
all
thing
the disclaimers.
To what we were talking about earlier, where I think gamers get that, I don't think general public gets that. So if they see that Google Stadia is a failure, Google Stadia didn't do what it was supposed to do, Google Stadia isn't hitting the marks it's supposed to hit, that's poisoned the well for them. And if the well gets poisoned, then it's constantly Google Stadia trying to push this boulder up a mountain. And then you do wonder, as Google, with the Daydream thing, or with the fucking Google social network that's already gone, but Google Plus.
Yeah.
Like, at what point did they look at this? It's like, this isn't worth it. We did put in a bunch of money. We did hire Phil Harrison. We did hire Jack Brewster. We have all these different people. Pull the plug.
Look, it's always possible. But even Google Plus was around for, I don't know, 5-7 years. It was around a long time, despite that it was never really working for them. So, again, I believe they're in this for years to come. So it's hard to define where do you, like, what is the analog here? Like, when you say, oh, is it just going to be Daydream? Like, how long was Daydream around? Like, 2 years? I don't.
I think that if I could chime in just for a
Please
second.
do, Kevin.
There he is.
Big Kev Dog's awake. Oh.
The difference with Daydream is that it required a peripheral that only worked with certain devices. And I think that the cardboard also worked with it, but who's doing that? You know what I mean?
Totally.
This thing.
I hear you.
Where
this
is something that takes the place of buying an actual console, and I think that's where there's a huge difference. If someone can come in, pay $60 for a game, and not require anything else, and now with the way things are trending more towards cross-platform play and cross-platform saves, I really think that this could make a big impact in the sense that you no longer need the investment cost of $500 for a new console. The newer ones are going to cost that much.
No, that is the one place that as competition is coming with PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Scarlet, whatever it will be called, Stadia seemingly still stands alone. Like, in other words, Xcloud, by the way, it works. I've played it at least in a limited environment.
Have you played the beta or just the stuff at E3?
Not the beta, just stuff at E3.
Yeah, me too.
So, I actually would love to try this out. But yeah, Xcloud, Microsoft is going to get it working. Which one is better by what margin?
But see, this is my thing, is I think you're about to see the tables turn, where I do think that for the longest time, we've seen Xcloud, but they've been in the backseat. They had the great trailer. We played it at E3. That's cool. They're doing it right. The beta is running right now. And so far, the word on the street is it works.
Yeah.
That's all it does this work. Does it do what it wants? And it seems like Google Stadia is about to come out and be like, it works, but the features they wanted, the controller, it's
got to fall in the fire and everything. Yeah, how's the store? Where do I find it? It's
here's my thing. My
usual
confidence level, based on the fact that the controller isn't Bluetooth and ready to go to the phones, that it's limited. I can't even use it on my iPhone, right? It's just on this. Does not instill confidence that at launch they're going to have that thing they wanted, where it's like I'm watching somebody on YouTube and I can click through and join their game and play their thing and do the stuff.
We're very far from that.
And so, if it's going to come out and it's going to be like, guess what, everybody? The controller's here. You can forget the controller. Stadia's here, and the games you're playing on it run. But the other stuff isn't. That's where you're going to get dinged on marks. It's an incomplete thing. It's even hard to review in progress, where after a week we're ending it here. Whereas xCloud, if it just keeps working and keeps building goodwill, when you finally launch xCloud, and it is the same thing we're talking about, it's good enough.
I think that the difference is going to come that, like, with xCloud, what right now we still speculate that you need to buy the console, right? No?
No, yeah, it's a different service, and
you can use it with your console, but you're just it's the idea is going to be that you have an Xbox in the sky, like I have a Google.
I think that Stadia making, like, I don't know if xCloud's gonna, like, are you gonna have to buy some sort of subscription to run it or anything?
I believe you are going to. They haven't said that clearly, I don't think,
I would imagine, but it probably is going to be some sort of like the Game Pass or something.
That's right. I believe
the way I've had it, my understanding of xCloud is that it's going to be you will sign up and have an Xbox account or a Microsoft account or whatever, and then you will buy games through the Xbox store, and then they'll be in the console in the sky I keep pointing at.
There it is.
And you, with whatever controller configuration, we are just on your phone, dial into that, and that's your library up there. If you already have a library like we do, then that'll be up there in the sky, ready to be used.
But what we don't know is if you need Microsoft, Xbox Live Gold.
We're wading into those specifics. I don't know. Kindoffunny.com/you're wrong if I don't know.
The reason I bring this up is because at E3, I started to dive in, and I was like, I had a different perception of xCloud, which was effectively, here's sort of what happened. I was at E3 and I was like, oh, so let's just say, whatever, I own Halo, and now I just want to move over and play it on my phone. And we got into this like weird back and forth, and they're like, well, that's xCloud, and this is this. And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, do I have to pay for it? And they're like, well, it's a different service. And so we got in this weird back and forth, and it was, I don't think, announced yet exactly how.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's
maybe they've changed their mind since then, too. So
I have a feeling that Stadia will definitely affect what their service looks like cost-wise. Because coming out and being like, all right, the service exists, you just have to buy the games, And with a platform like that, I'm sure that there's going to be smaller games that are there for free that want to get exposure,
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's such a different business model for Google at this point. And again, we'll see. Obviously, they want to sell subscriptions, but like you're saying, Kevin, it's like they're just going to be selling some games and taking a small share of that. That's not money for Google. Again, we talked about this too. It's like they've got much bigger plans in terms of, I guess, who knows, advertising, YouTube usage, and the Google machine that it is. They have a different business model than these other companies.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I feel it's I've always compared this when we talked about it to PlayStation VR. But PlayStation VR did it the right way of, hey, everybody, we're launching this thing. It's a weird, quirky device. If you buy it, you're on for the ride with us.
Yeah.
We're going to see where it goes together. And everybody's like, all right, cool. And they bought it, and people didn't bitch. Google Stadia, people are expecting 4K computer in the sky that's going to work with everything. And if you get it on day one and you want to happen and it's not hitting that, and I got to go look for asterisks in a video, that's like,
Exactly. So maybe to finish off the points, I would say just remember, though, that Ultimate still fits into an interesting niche.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Folks who want to play, say, 4K on their TV, or you still don't have to buy like a super expensive console.
I stand by the fact that my plan with it's going to be that I'm going to get it on November 19th, turn it on, see how it works. Of course, all the games are going to be old, and I'm invested in other things. I'm sure when id Software called them, was like, hey, we're pushing Doom. I'm sure everybody was like, oh my god.
And so it's like, I've been showing everybody.
I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to be like, all right, cool, this is fine, and I'm going to put it aside till 2020 when I can start playing games day and date or transferring saves between things I really care about.
Yeah, maybe come back to Red Dead now. Hopefully it runs like... See, we don't even know that's going to run on the PC code, but anyway, we'll see.
Anyway, we don't know.
PC
two things to correct here. RobbyRob writes in and says it's RobbyRob, not Robbie Roy. So the guy who corrected me on the Google 5 to 9, 9 to 5, I got his name wrong too. I'm batting 1,000 today.
Greg, get some rest.
Ah, man, never.
For Christ's sake.
Number 2. Blizzard bans American university kids after all. This is Patrick Klepek over at Vice. When 3 19-year-old college Hearthstone players held up a Free Hong Kong Boycott Blizz sign during an official competition stream, they knew what they were doing. The move came only days after Blizzard created an international political incident after a high-profile player staged a protest in the same manner. They were asking Blizzard to blink, ban us too. At the time, nothing happened to the American University team players Casey Chambers, Corwin Dark, and their third teammate who goes by the online handle T-Jammer. Blizzard cut away from the sign, and the casters assigned to the team pretended like nothing happened. Parentheses, in the original incident, the casters hid under their desks during the protest, and Blizzard, even after taking time to reconsider, still rewarded them with a 6-month ban. But Blizzard's silence towards Chambers and his friends always had a ticking time limit. Despite losing the tournament round, they were scheduled to play again. Blizzard's response came last night, only a few days after the company publicly doubled down on a series of disciplinary actions against Blitzchung Wei, who originally set this into motion. In a letter to Chambers, Blizzard said that while, quote, every voice matters at Blizzard, and we strongly encourage everyone in our community to share their viewpoints in the many places available to them to express themselves, an official broadcast was not that venue, and it seems to be the place, and it needs to be a place where all are welcome. To Blizzard, supporting the protest violates that, a reaction that's perfectly in line with Blizzard's ongoing politics is fine, just not here mantra. As a result, the 3 players were given a 6-month competitive ban, the same as Blitzchung. While Blitzchung was originally banned for a year, one of the few concessions from Blizzard's open letter to the community on Friday was ratcheting down a year-long ban. Quote, we knew exactly what we were doing, said Chambers to me over Discord this morning. No regrets. Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah. Go get them, American University kids.
Yeah, I mean, it's a show of solidarity. It's definitely newsworthy. The story continues is that Blizzard's still in, a tough spot. Imran and I talked about it again on Tuesday.
It's a story. It's
about how the response went with a 6-month walk back.
Yeah.
But the point is, this is going to go on. We got BlizzCon coming up. I don't know what else to say about it other than, they knew this was going to happen. They know it's against the policy. And it shows solidarity. Awesome for them. They were willing to face that ban. They knew it was coming.
If you don't know what else to say about it, we'll let RobbyRob, who wrote into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and is going for the MVP award today, right? He says, Dear Sweet Gran, Greg and Fran.
Oh, I like it.
With the Hearthstone Collegiate team getting the same 6-month penalty as Blitzchung, it should be seen as fair treatment as they both had done the same act over a live stream. However, fans are up in arms again because of the delay of this action by Blizzard because of the delay of the punishment. Do you believe Blizzard finally got around to seeing this team and gave them the same punishment? Or was it the fans' outrage that they didn't get the same penalty as Blitzchung that caused the ban?
No, I think they're crapping their pants at every... They're like, God, again? And they're like, what do we do? And they all have to sit down and send 100 emails back and forth and decide how they're going to go out to market with yet another, stoking this fire. They don't want to stoke that fire. I think that's why there was a delay. They're like, and they're probably learning from this, which is like, when it happens again, can they react more quickly? In other words, they have a policy that they just changed a little, apparently, or what's the penalty for doing it?
They explained it more.
It took them, I don't know, it was almost a week and a half, or maybe it was a week. It took them a while first to just address the penalty and say something. Then they walked it back a little. Now they have that in place, but then it happened again, slightly different, but very similar. Now it's a policy on that policy of how you deal with it. And so, in other words, I just think they're evolving to okay, if this happens, how quickly are they going to enforce these bans?
I think the reason they went after the American Collegiate kids is very much because of the reaction to it. I think they would have gotten around to it without it.
You think they would have ignored it if people didn't talk about it? Is that what you're saying?
I think, yeah, it definitely. I think we would have ignored it maybe more if it wasn't such a big deal. The problem here is that you can literally see the pipe get clogged. Where it's like they do the Blitzchung initial ban of a year, everyone loses their mind. They start going into crisis mode, you imagine. How are we going to handle this? The American Collegiate kids do it, 24, 48 hours afterwards. And then it's like, cool, these fuckers, goddammit. But it's like, we got to handle this first. And then it started that conversation of, well, we got to make this right. Clearly, we're pissing everybody off. And until they figured out what they wanted to do with Blitzchung, they couldn't do anything to the American kids. Because you couldn't come out and do the exact same thing. You're banned for a year. And everybody it's just...
Yeah,
no matter what.
Monday
morning, Blizzard walked in with their coffee cup and looked around like, man, everything's on fire and we're fucked. Yeah. So let's just strap in. It can only get worse, I guess. There's no easy way out of this. Yeah. There's no good way to fix this problem.
It's, again, with BlizzCon coming, I just can't imagine.
How bad do you think BlizzCon's going to be?
I definitely think it's going to be a lot of those signs out there. I think it's going to be pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, they also broadcast stuff from there, right?
Yeah.
So it just seems... Now, it's one thing for the audience to have signs, so I guess they can limit that probably. They're going to limit stuff like that, I assume.
Yeah, but even then, that's going to be the thing.
People are going to have a T-shirt under their T-shirt. And I think it's going to be bad.
I've seen it on the Blizzard subreddit, right, the conversations of they're not going to let us bring in signs. They're not going to let us wear free Hong Kong shirts, so we need to all wear neon orange shirts or neon with like something that like you can get in and be like, all right, you're just wearing a
it's
shirt.
like a ribbon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be bad. The crisis is bad, and people want to talk about this, and they feel, suppressed now, even though, like, I understand Blizzard's general policy, but it makes them look like, they're trying to say, no, we're in support of your voice, but they're also not going to.
They got to drop that fucking line.
They're never going to say they're not going to say Free Hong Kong.
Every voice matters at Blizzard, and we strongly encourage everyone in our community to share their viewpoints in the many places available to express themselves, but not here. Not this place.
Fence. Crotch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is, hey, man, we love that you have an opinion.
Yeah.
Express it, just not on the show, not on the tournament stage.
Yeah.
And that's just such bullshit.
I think I understand their policy, by the way, because you could imagine, what about all the other stuff? Like, if they're going to allow you to say that, then what if you want to support this other stuff?
We've talked about this.
Exactly.
The other side of the coin is like, yeah, like if you went up there and you're like, well, oh yeah, fuck, I love the KKK,
whatever.
right?
Exactly. Yeah. Any number of things that it's like, wait.
But then I flip it back again where it's just like, okay, cool. When the next person wins the championship and they go up there and I just want to thank God, you got to ban them. That could offend me as an atheist. That could offend me as somebody who believes in a different faith.
Politics,
right? Jesus.
Yeah, where do you draw the line?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing where it's like, it's already a gray area and it's already used your best judgment of somebody from their fucking home country saying freedom is good.
Yeah.
Not that outlandish of a statement where you need to actually crack the whip here and be like, no, it's over.
Yeah.
Because then for sure, like the next time somebody I would get up, if I was still playing these things, if my livelihood depended on I was doing this, I'd get up there and just be a robot, right?
Right.
Good win. We did good. You know what I mean? Like, give them nothing. But like, even then, I'd want to walk away.
You're like, now I have to be as boring as possible.
I cut off some of it. I think it was Patrick's story or somebody else was talking about how one of the American Collegiate kids has already moved over to one of the other games. Not
they're
one of the
like
big ones,
trying to get off Blizzard games.
Yeah. He's playing other stuff there.
Yeah. But I was going to say they're never going to take a political side, which means there's no way to resolve it. They're in a super hot spot, meaning unless they say genuinely somehow statement after statement of Free Hong Kong, like what could they say?
Yeah.
So meaning I don't know what they're going to do. They just, again, something Imran and I already talked about, but like they got to make it through BlizzCon. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah. I'm fascinated.
Everybody's going to have these orange T-shirts. Maybe
I need to pick the color for everybody. I need to set the
I wonder
course.
how he came up with that, everybody. Where's your orange?
Orange is a good
Halloween,
color. You know what I mean?
Halloween mode over here, Greg.
Meanwhile, Texas University, like, we got plenty of orange shirts. Come on. Number 3 on the Roper Report, Capcom will revive dormant IPs. This is Dustin Bailey over at PCGamesN. After a lot of middling years, Capcom has made a big comeback thanks to the quality of games like Monster Hunter World, Devil May Cry 5, and the Resident Evil 2 remake. That quality has translated to sales too, and Capcom plans to capitalize on that kind of success by continuing to bring back series that haven't been seen in a while. In its 2019 financial report, Capcom tells investors that the company will revive dormant intellectual properties for which we have not recently released new titles by increasing the number of our developers. Capcom's priority is still on making the most of its current crop of core series, but the company is, quote, also actively looking to utilize dormant IP, end quote. Capcom isn't ready to announce any of these revivals, of course, and that sort of news wouldn't come in a financial report anyway. Dino Crisis and Darkstalker fans have perhaps been the longest suffering among the Capcom faithful since they've been the better part of 2 decades for a they've been the better part of 2 decades for a proper 4th entry in either series. Parentheses, that Dino Crisis fan remake looks great, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, investor report, they want to get a little bit of, stoke the fires.
Sure.
And get people excited that they've already been doing well with well-known IPs. And now they're like, yeah, but we've got a lot in our backlog. In other words, they're kind of met with, what are we going to tell investors? That more of the same is coming, or we have brand new IPs on the way. We've been working on new stuff, or by the way, we have this huge catalog, and this is a smart,
what do you think you're
going to
start seeing? What do you think is the next one? So
Capcom Arcade Bowling, Greg. I've been waiting for this. Finally, Capcom Arcade VR Bowling. No, I don't know.
Jared Petty's going doki doki. He's all excited about whatever the hell you're talking about. So yeah, Monster Hunter, obviously Resident Evil, Devil May Cry. What do you see it next then? Is it going to be Onimusha finally? They put that out, right? Tim Geddes loved it. No one else talked about it.
We actually did talk about it. I was struggling. I was like, of all their games, that have come and gone, what would it be? Actually, I didn't think of that one. That might actually be legit. I mean, I think there's room for that. When Tim mentioned it almost as a joke, I was like, dude, like Dark Souls and those types of games are hot.
Yeah.
And Onimusha's somewhere in there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see an Onimusha that's right in that action RPG meta that is happening right now.
Looking off the Wikipedia thing right here, they have a bunch. Ace Attorney's been happening, so I'm not worried about that. Bionic Commando.
Yeah.
Bionic Commando, remember when they tried to do it?
Yeah.
He had dreads, and it was not good?
Yeah.
Remember that? Not a good game. Yeah.
I wouldn't be, but that definitely is a name that I think a lot of people recognize, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
to see
I wonder
that
if you, and I've said this before, and I know people are always sick of it, but I wonder what they think of Dead Rising now. Now, granted, you have not been long suffering for Dead Rising games.
Yeah.
Maybe you've been long suffering for good Dead Rising games. Dead Rising 4 came and went like, you know, a fart in the wind. Nobody cared about it. And so if you were to go back to basics, just do a new Dead Rising, give it to people who understand what that game made the first one special.
Yeah.
But Ghosts and Goblins is like, I mean, like, it's
Yeah,
the
no,
whole
I
thing
think-
of... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, I think Ghosts and Goblins is on the table.
Yeah. Mega Man, of course. But again, Mega Man, I feel like dialing it back and doing Legacy Collections and sticking to that 8-bit side-scroller is what people want.
I don't know, though. I think you're nailing it. I think these are the conversations they're having, which is like, look, we've got this formula kind of going. I mean, I realize not everything applies to the Resident Evil engine, but something's going on with the teams. They're just on fire, and so I feel like they are in that position. They can hand Mega Man over now to a team and get it, have the people that are just on fire, really, in terms of production and the quality of what they're pumping out. So I do think Mega Man is going to happen. So I think you're hitting on the stuff that will. In the back of my mind, I want to still see stuff like the old Capcom 5, which was the exclusive lineup for GameCube, but in particular, out of that, Beautiful Joe, baby.
Beautiful fucking Joe.
Real
Yes,
meal. Let's go.
1,000% they should do a Beautiful Joe again.
I would love to see a Beautiful Joe if I could. I mean, it's interesting because that team is more over at Platinum now or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, still, just like in general, take that idea. Again, that'd be a cool thing to reboot, visualize. You know, it doesn't. I don't want it. I don't want the exact same GameCube game. I want it to be.
Yeah, no. What's the new
Modern,
version of that?
yeah,
But Beautiful Joe was, I thought, a cool franchise. It hit on those comic book tones.
Yeah.
And anyway, they do have a big catalog. So now I'm just excited to see them doing something new, even though, of course, I just want more Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
You know what I mean? Like, they could just stick to Resident Evil. I'd be pretty happy with that. And
Well,
Monster
don't worry,
Hunter
you're going to
and-
get more Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And you're going to get more Monster Hunter for sure. Number 4 is a correction, but clarification, kind of. Outer Worlds will be PlayStation 4 enhanced. This is from Private Division's Twitter. If you missed this yesterday, you guys talked about this. The quick synopsis. In a statement to Windows Central, a Private Division spokesperson said that the Outer Worlds, did I say wild? The Outer Worlds will only support 4K on Xbox One, no enhancements for PlayStation 4 Pro. This means that you will only be able to play the Outer Worlds in 4K on Xbox One X and PC, with the PS4 Pro capping it at 1080p. You and Imran talked about that yesterday. It was all good. Congratulations. Today, though, they tweeted, the Outer Worlds is enhanced for both Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro. It includes 4K textures and resolution on Xbox One X and PC, and upsamples to 4K from 1440p on PS4 Pro. It looks great across all platforms, and we're excited for players to experience the Outer Worlds on October 25th.
That was another "this is fine" moment. I don't know how the statement came up of. So it was half right if you read it, right? I believe Private Division said this. 4K is only on Xbox One. That's true, comma, no enhancements for PS4 Pro. That part was not true. Apparently, it is a 2K, right? 1440p is 2K, roughly upsampled. So you are getting, you know, a higher quality resolution on Xbox One X, but there are enhancements for PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm reading from this
Yes,
story.
there are,
Did I get that right?
Yeah, you got it right.
So they just said no enhancements, and of course, like PS4 Pro, people are like,
It's
what?
like, no, it's just not the same.
Yeah. What are you doing to us?
There you go. The record's straight. If you
And,
were holding out.
Everybody thought, of course, it was because Microsoft bought Obsidian.
Sure.
I mean, they were speculating, oh, maybe they're holding back on the features, but no.
No.
Just seems like a hardware limitation.
Just
we know.
misspoke.
Yep. Oops.
Oopsie daisy.
Now we know.
Fran, I can't wait to see if the Outer Worlds is good. But October 25th is still so far away. If I wanted something more immediate, say what came to the mom and grop. Where would I go?
The upcoming list of software across each and every platform as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show host each and every weekday.
Yeah. Out today, it's a biggin'. Get ready. Strap in, Kevin. Felix the Reaper, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and Mac. Kine, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Monkey King, Hero is back, PS4 and PC. Stranded Sails, Explorers of the Cursed Islands, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Stella, Xbox One. Little Big Workshop, PC. The Beast Inside, PC. Sea Salt, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Demon Pit, PC. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, PS4 and PC. Summer Sweetheart, Switch. Domiverse, Switch. Rabby, Switch. Battle Planet, Judgment Day, Switch, PC. Sub-Level Zero Redux, Switch. Sega Ages, Jesus. Ichi Dantar, Switch. Sega Ages, Columns 2, Switch. The Jackbox Party Pack 6, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and Mac. Where the Bees Make Honey on Switch. Miniature, The Story Puzzle on Switch. Dark Masiyama, PC and Mac. Raising Hell, PC. Cat Lady, PC. 6 Ages, Ride Like the Wind, PC and Mac. Little Big Workshop, PC and Mac. And then the Sea of Thieves Fort of the Damned is here. And yesterday, Gears 5 got an update. It's been just over a month since Gears 5 celebrated its worldwide launch with Xbox Game Pass, and today we're evolving your Gears 5 multiplayer experience with 4 new characters: the COG Gear, the DB, the Warden, and General Ram, the ruthless Locust military leader. Every character added to Gears 5 will feature powerful multiplayer abilities to master. These new heroes and villains are available today and can be earned through gameplay or purchased in the in-game store. And then, All Saints Wake Halloween event for Final Fantasy XIV starts today as well. I know you're all over that.
Oh, yeah.
You love that Final Fantasy.
I actually did want to play Final Fantasy 14 at some point, but there's zero time to do that. Just hearing about that Gears update, I was like, oh yeah, I really want to finish that game.
Yeah, I gotta play Gears for.
I don't know when is that going to happen. Greg?
Yeah,
I mean, we got to get you over to Destiny still. So
I know there's too much to play. I got to do the Destiny. I got to keep playing Death Stranding. I got to worry about Outer Worlds in a second. I got to go do this thing.
Check out that new specialization in
Division. Yeah, I got to get the Halloween masks. I want that Halloween sign-on drop.
Yeah. You going to try Fortnite 2 at all?
Yep. Yeah. Love to do that.
I know. Yeah, you like hop in and out with the new season passes.
I'd like to keep playing that. I got Witcher on Switch. That's a daydream. That's never going to happen.
These are nice problems to have, Greg.
Great problems to have, Fran.
Remember how it used to be? You'd pick like one console and try to stick with it, and there'd only be like one good game that released every year for a while.
Well, that's because you're a Nintendo fan.
Yeah. Okay.
Got him.
You got him.
He got
There it is.
Deals of the day for you. I got 2. This weekend, Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members can play Tom Clancy's Division 2, Age of Wonders Planetfall, and Stellaris Console Edition for free on Xbox One during this weekend's free play days. Then, Victoria Song at Gizmodo says, we've all been there. Sign up for a free trial and then get dinged with a pesky automatic subscription renewal. If you're one of the early adopters who leapt onto the Apple Arcade train as soon as it launched, here's a friendly reminder that you might want to cancel before your credit card gets charged. Of course, you get 1 free month, and Apple Arcade launched on September 19th. So it's right around the corner, Frank.
It is. It's actually a really nice reminder, but it definitely comes off as like a mean thing to say about a new platform.
I'm sure Apple's like, God damn it.
Yeah,
come on.
It's funny. It's only like, what, $5 or something? So it's not crazy, but $5 is $5. But right? Doesn't that story come off as kind of like mean-spirited? But it's not.
It's not. No. Really she goes on to talk about, hey, hundreds of games, and they were great, and we really liked it. But
just a friendly reminder, but it could come off as like, hey, you might want to cancel your PlayStation subscription.
I still got to beat Grindstone on there. I got NeoCab waiting for me. I love mini motorways.
Right after all these other games.
Exactly. Well, that's a different thing, right? Now I play these waiting for the train. I don't want to lug out the Switch out of my backpack and play Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Now it's time for a reader mail. You can write in at patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, where you can get the show ad-free. And speaking of ads, this episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily is brought to you by BROOKLINEN. You spend a third of your life in your sheets. Don't you want them to be insanely comfortable? When you sleep well, you live well. On hotel-quality sheets that don't cost an arm and a leg, BROOKLINEN sheets are named the winner of the Best of Online Bedding category by Good Housekeeping. Raving reviews from Business Insider, Apartment Therapy, Men's Health, and of course, Kind of Funny. Everybody knows I sleep on BROOKLINEN sheets. I talk about it all the time. Jen was impressed I was able to mix and match it correctly. Yeah. But when you click the buttons and see the colors, Fran, it's easy. BROOKLINEN has over 35,000 5-star reviews, more than any other online bedding company, and 500,000 happy sleepers and counting. These are luxury sheets, towels, bedding, and more without the luxury markup. Most bedding is marked up as much as 300%. BROOKLINEN was the first direct-to-consumer bedding company, meaning they work directly with the manufacturers and directly with the customers. No middleman, just a great product and service. Sheets just don't feel great. They look great, too. You can mix and match over 20 colors and patterns. BROOKLINEN.com is giving an exclusive offer to my listeners. You can get 10% off and free shipping when you use the promo code GAMES at BROOKLINEN.com. BROOKLINEN is so confident in their product and their sheets, comforters, and towels, they all come with a lifetime warranty. The only way to get 10% off and free shipping is use the promo code GAMES at BROOKLINEN.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com, promo code GAMES. BROOKLINEN, these are the best sheets ever. Our next sponsor is Manscaped. Support for Kinda Funny Games Daily comes from Manscaped, who is number one in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Halloween is right around the corner, and you don't want to spook someone with your scary bush. You might be a Chewbacca, Bigfoot, or hairy bear, but it's what's under your costume that really matters. Again, I wrote this next part. I like to read it verbatim. Greg and Tim are using Manscaped, and they both took a look at each other yesterday in the office, and they were like, looking good, man. Because it implies we were dicks out, you know? Don't be that hairy guy. Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with the Perfect Package 2.0. Inside the Perfect Package, you'll find their electric trimmer called the Lawnmower 2.0. This waterproof and skin-safe technology will protect you from nicking your pumpkins. You can also create less mess by trimming in the shower. And of course, let's not forget about the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why aren't you putting it on the smelliest part of your body? For on-the-go freshness, you'll love the Crop Reviver Ball Toner Spray. It's time to get clean and mean with this Perfect Package 2.0. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code GAMES at manscaped.com. Stay sexy this Halloween. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code GAMES at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code GAMES. And our final sponsor is Escape the Invasion. Ever wonder what you'd do if you found yourself in the middle of a post-apocalyptic world that has been ravaged by a deadly virus inflicted by aliens? Looking for a unique date or game night that gets you off of your devices and truly interacting with each other? You've got to check out this game called Escape the Invasion. It's all about immersive experiences, and they just announced the launch of their new post-apocalyptic themed subscription box. From the makers of Hunt a Killer, the popular true crime mystery subscription box, comes Alien Invasion, the sci-fi game where you are a survivor on a rapidly dying Earth after an alien invasion. You find refuge in a government bunker, but is it safe to the outside? Is it safer in the outside world? Can you trust your fellow survivors? You think you're safe now that you found a refuge, but there is a council that creates and controls every aspect of life in the bunker. What will you choose? Freedom or safety? With Escape the Invasion, you will receive a box of clues, physical items, and evidence each month. It's up to you to piece it all together, solve the mystery, and save humanity. Not everything is as it seems in this challenging game. It's been called an escape room delivered to your front door where Fallout meets Alien. Escape the Invasion is a great way to get you off your phones and connecting with your friends, or if you prefer a solo adventure, you can interact with our online community to swap theories and help others out. These are high-quality, handcrafted clues that get you lost in the post-apocalyptic world and make you feel like humanity is truly in your hand. Jen and I have Hunt a Killer subscription. It's fun. You get it. You open it up. You open a bottle of wine. You go through the clues. You try to figure out who's killing who, Fran. Right now, just for our listeners, you can go to escapetheinvasion.com/kfgames for 20% off your first box. That's escapetheinvasion.com/kfgames for 20% off your first box. Escapetheinvasion.com/kfgames. Can you survive the alien apocalypse? Fran can't. Can't even put hairspray on anymore. Spray himself right now.
Be careful out there, Greg.
Big Brain on Brad. And Kevin, there's a link in this one I'd like you to open up for me.
Sure.
Big Brain on Brad says, Greg, fellow gamer and WWE follower here. Have you been keeping up with the upcoming release of WWE 2K20? If you haven't, or for those interested, Ukes, an original developer of the series for 20 years, has left, leaving a newer studio to take the reins. The outcome, a dumpster fire. It appears littered with bugs, and a lot of character models are way off, and let's not even talk about the physics engine. See Bianca Belair's comparison here. You want to toss it up, Kev? It's gonna cycle. Here's a GIF, and you see her hair right there on the the left, obviously the older version. On the right here, some leaked version, I think, of the other one. I don't understand how 2K thinks this is a good idea. Take a year off, get comfortable with your own assets, and kick some ass next gen. I want to vote with my wallet and not buy this game, but I am conflicted. This year marks another first. The Man, Becky Lynch, is on the cover, alongside Roman Reigns. A first for a female in the WWE. A revolution has been ongoing for females of WWE, and part of me wants to support that effort. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Have we seen gameplay footage of this yet? Like actual gameplay?
There's trailers and stuff. I Google around. If you just put in WWE 2K20 looks terrible, you'll find all sorts of articles and compilations of Becky Lynch holding up the title and then bringing it down and it going through her pelvic area out, and then her arm wigging out behind her back and all these different things and stuff. Big Brain on Brad, as Greg Miller, someone who loves wrestling video games. This is a double-edged sword. It's a complicated situation. A whole bunch of stuff's going on. We've covered on Games Daily the fact that Ukes is off of this one, which came as news to me when it got announced. But then the article where it was like, hey, Ukes is no longer working on it, cited an interview that we went back and found and talked about there, where Ukes was basically like, we have so many cool things we want to do, and 2K won't let us do them. And it was like, oh, shit. Personally, Greg Miller, wrestling game fan, this is the best news possible. It sucks that it's going to lead to what looks to be not great wrestling game. And maybe this is, again, the game's not out yet. These aren't official previews. Maybe
Here's
there's
what I was
isolated
getting at,
interests. You know, who knows what's
not
going to happen.
looking good,
I
but-
would read the tea leaves of that's not going to be good.
Yeah.
That's bad news. The create-a-player story is out, and it looks awful, the things that are
Really?
getting shared. Now, granted, these are people cherry-picking things that are showing them to me, so maybe, again, full disclosure, maybe it'll work out. But the problem with the WWE games is that since what? When you're talking about when it was going back and forth with when WCW was being on the AKI engine on N64 and Acclaim was making WWF games at the time, right? And then the switch happened where Ukes came in and started making SmackDown. Then AKI was making. In the same way we talk about WWE having a monopoly on wrestling, the fact that 2K and before them THQ had a monopoly on wrestling games, big budget, you know, like names you understand wrestling games. That was bad for business, and that's got us to this thing right now. Why I think the WWE 2K series, which is, you know, looks great and does all this stuff, I hate that it went sim with it. I wish we were still playing games like WWF No Mercy. I wish that it was just a strong grapple, weak grapple, with all these different things.
Yes.
Fire Pro Wrestling World, I played a lot of when I was doing the review stuff for it. Had a great time with it, but even that is a different kind of wrestling game. And I know people always argue WWE All Stars is what you wanted, Greg, and I was like, it's not. But all of this aside, I'm so thrilled that Ukes is making their own wrestling game. I'm so thrilled that 2K is going to have a competitor out there. I'm so thrilled that it looks like AEW has been talking about making a wrestling game. Like the fact that you're about to get all these different things in there, different companies in there. AEW already riding such a groundswell of praise from people in the wrestling industry. Having them come out and hopefully team up with Ukes and make an actual awesome game, or Ukes make the spiritual successor to N64 wrestling game. All this is exciting.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. We need more competition in the space. We saw it definitely when it all really got started in the late 90s and the N64 PlayStation days. And it was an exciting time. You saw a lot of people competing, iterating. Sometimes even one of the games wouldn't be as strong as the other, but it would do one thing that the others learned from and so on. And so, yeah, this year, I think you want to really watch those reviews closely.
This year, I think,
don't go out and pre-order until you know for sure on this one. It is Visual Concepts, by the way, right, that's developing it. So it's 2K taking it basically internally. This is the team that's brought you, right, NBA, 2K, and
I think the way it sounded with the Ukes handoff, it didn't sound smooth. So I think that's why this is happening.
They're probably behind the curve now.
And why is this game, to your other questions, Brad, right? Like, why isn't 2K taking the year off here? I don't know. I do not have the contracts in front of me. I have no idea. They're not taking the year off because I'm sure they're contractually obligated to the WWE to release a game each and every year. And if you don't do this, they're probably owe WWE a bunch of money and are in violation of their contract, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. And it becomes that part of the business that is gross, where it's like, no, let's ship this thing, make some money off of it, and then next year, if it comes out and we've crushed it, people get to go, man, WWE 2K21 is a return to form. And that's, again, jumping to the conclusion this one's going to underperform and be not great.
Yep. No, I think
that's the whole part of it, right? And when you have a licensor agreement, there are things you need to hit.
Exactly. It is. We're not happy about how it's looking. It's always way more complicated.
Yeah.
It's not even. I didn't even think about it. It's not just 2K wants to make some money. At first,
WWE
I'm like, well, of course,
for sure.
They're also under all these contractual obligations, and it's like all the wrestlers are now they've been signed up to be in the game, and they get a cut. And like, oh man, it's complicated. So I think hopefully they did the best they could.
Yeah.
Despite the problems. And yeah, I'm actually really excited that Ukes is doing something on its own. I didn't even realize that.
And that's like me extrapolating from what they've been talking about with their stuff. But
so they haven't confirmed they're doing it.
I do want to say that, no, I think they might have. I can't remember.
You're wrong, us, but
if you remember this article,
it makes perfect sense. That's what they've been doing for decades. Like, of course, something along. Now I'm getting excited. Next gen, let's see it.
Exactly right. And then I also don't think you need to worry about it, Brad. Of like, I understand you want to support Becky Lynch and the female movement of WWE. I don't think people are going to read into a game that scores poorly. And then it didn't sell, and they'll be like, well, it's clearly because there's a woman on the cover.
That is not,
Somebody will say that on the internet and be an asshole.
The reviews are not going to be about that, I think. In other words, right, if there's anything's negative about it, it'll be in the gameplay.
Yeah. Now, Fran, thank you for bearing with me. That, of course, was a question directed mainly at me.
Luckily, I love wrestling. I'm just not kept up on it.
Will Brewster wrote in for a question for you. He went to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames just like you can. It says, Fran, now that Bungie is independent from Activision, do you see them making any kind of M-rated content for Destiny? They had made Halo, all of which were rated M, but then they partnered with Activision and had T-rated games come out. Do you see any similarities with this, or am I looking too far into it?
This question's actually come up a lot over the years about Destiny, which is like why, like there's a major moment in the game. I mean, everybody knows which character got killed off, but just in case you're not up to speed. But
giant gun came in, blew its brains out.
But you don't really see like the gunshot and any violence. Like well, you see the gunfire, you don't see the violence of it, which is the shooting game, and you shoot aliens all the time. So anyway, there's always questions about like shouldn't it be a little more intense? And yeah, it's gotten darker. It's definitely on the edge of PG-13, but it doesn't swear, and I feel like actually it's in a good spot. I don't feel it needs like some edgier M-rated, but whatever that line is on ESRB, I do think they have the freedom to walk it. I don't think they're worried about it, but I feel like Bungie is a game that they want people to play with their teens and so on. I don't think they want to change that.
I don't think that's the vibe they'd go for here. I don't think you're going to see M-rated content, let alone the fact that gets so confusing. And if you put out DLC that was M-rated for a T-rated game, and how does that actually get done?
But
it's another money thing, but it's also another player-based thing, and it is another thing of the Destiny world is established the way it's established. You know what the rules are.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Fortnite too. It's like, does it need to be M-rated? I think if you want really huge games, it's tough to do M-rated. I mean, Resident Evil.
It's like R-rated movies, right?
Pulls it up. Yeah, it's hard to get it right. I mean, so I think there's there's always a possibility of Bungie doing something like that, but on a different franchise. They're clearly working on other stuff, and hopefully we'll see some next-gen products from them in the future. But even then, I feel like they're probably not going to go M-rated. Like Halo was never that way, right? So
they say it's M-rated.
Wait, one of the Halos was, or
Will Brewster says?
They
made Halo, all of which rated M.
It's funny. It doesn't have that vibe to me, so I never really.
No, totally.
I guess that's when I read it. I was like, well, were some of them, or anyway? I just don't think it needs it. So
okay, I agree.
But they can do it. You're right.
It's time to squad it. This is where one of you writes in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Give me your name, username, platform of choice, and why you need help in a video game. I read it here. The best friends come and find you, and everybody plays games together. Today, Spencer needs help on Origin on PC. Spencer's username on Origin is BarretsGaming. What, you going to correct me? BARRETS Gaming. What do you got for me?
I just had like the realization. I think because in Halo, like they're shooting real people. It's not aliens. That probably is why.
Gotcha.
Anyway, it just hit me.
BarretsGaming says, I am a high-level Apex player on PC with over 220 hours in the game. Jesus Christ. I am looking for some kind of funny best friends to squad up with and get some wins. I always have a mic and will play with anyone of any skill level. Would love to try my hand at rank if you're up for it. If you're up for it, hit up Spencer. BarretsGaming, Origin on PC. Fran, we ask people watching live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames to go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later.
Here we go.
Milty the Great says you, and this is Greg, are saying you're pre-ordering Pro Access, but you're actually pre-ordering the Founders Edition, which comes with the Pro subscription for free for the first 3 months.
But that's the only option is the point.
Sure, but I was saying Pro, and I think it said 1 month at one point, so that's, thank you. I don't even know what I'm paying for.
Yep, yeah, 3, you're right. It is.
It's like I'll worry about it November 19th when the box gets here. Anonymous says, Fran called it the Resident Evil engine, but the RE engine actually stands for the Reach for the Moon engine.
Is that true?
I don't know.
It's from someone anonymous. We're going to have to fact check that.
I like it. Fine. And then Imran Khan himself writes in and says, I hosted with Gary on Wednesday, not Fran. Get it together, Greg.
Yeah, you did say that too. You guys are
me.
like, you guys talked about that yesterday. I mean, it's not, those are minor corrections. So this will reach for the moon. I think it is true. It really is. Yeah, the logo show. I had no idea. I love that. That's a cool correction.
I want you to reach for the moon this weekend. All right,
I'm going to reach for it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Haunted, Greg. That's a Destiny thing.
Destiny, yeah, I know. I was like, that wizard came from the moon. Remember that? Dinklebot.
Oh, yeah, the Dinklebot.
I miss him.
You can't forget him.
That's why I walked away, honestly.
Once he was gone, once Peter Dinklage was off of Destiny.
I mean, you know how I feel about Nolan North.
I was about to say, you don't like Nolan at all. So,
ladies and gentlemen, remember this content rolls on here, kind of funny. Today, you can watch the Gamescast live, patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Get the pre and post show. Get it ad-free. Watch us talk about Star Wars. Watch us talk about Luigi's Mansion. You can also get it throughout the weekend, pre-show, post-show, ad-free, or you can get it Monday.
Support
with
us.
Ads. No pre and post show. Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Tomorrow, your hosts are Imran and Tim because I'm going to EGLX in Toronto. I hope to see everybody Saturday and Sunday. That also means this is my final Games Daily for like a week and a day. I'm not back until weeks from Tuesday because I go from Toronto, Montreal, see Jen's Australian family that's visiting that I've never met before.
Australian,
Then from Montreal, I know I don't trust
Had
it
no
either,
idea.
Right? Then
It's a setup, Greg.
then from Montreal to New Jersey for a wedding I'm doing, and then back out here and get ready for that Death Stranding embargo.
Sounds like a lovely time, though.
Yeah, traveling with the PlayStation and game screen anytime I can. Go in the closets, plug it in, just sit there and play.
If only you had your Stadia.
If only I had Stadia, all the Division I'd be playing. I don't know how the internet speed's going to be up there. I got to try things with you.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother
Borderlands
ball of wax,
content's
man.
happening. I don't know, man.
There's a lot.
There's too much.
Man.
We just quit our jobs. And
Wait,
just
what day
play
are
games.
you? Yeah, exactly. What day are you back?
I'm back Monday.
Roughly.
A week from what day's today? I'm back a week from the next Monday. We can do this off air. Ladies
fine.
and gentlemen, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we come to you with the news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Watch it later. YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames. Watch it on RoosterTeeth.com. Listen to it anywhere you get it. Wherever you get it, thank you for your support. Please consider thumbs up, subscribes, all that jazz. If you ever see Tim out in the street, now that I was going to say egg him, but don't do that.
No,
That'd be
don't do
mean.
that.
I know somebody would do it. Greg said. Don't egg Tim, all right?
Sometimes things are just jokes, everybody.
Exactly. I hope I see everybody at EGLX this weekend who's in Toronto. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.